Turning back time, we revisit the heartbreaking stories of the beloved Star Trek cast members who tragically passed away. These were individuals who inspired millions through their iconic roles, yet their lives were cut short under devastating circumstances. Behind the brilliance of their unforgettable performances lay the harsh realities they endured, unexpected tragedies, untimely deaths, and the pressures of fame. Each name, each story is etched into memory as a testament to their strength and dedication. Join us as we honor their legacy, relive cherished moments, and explore the darker side of Hollywood. These stories not only shed light on the heavy price of fame but also remind us of the fragility and humanity behind the stars. Margaret Barrett, born 1932, portrayed Nurse Christine Chapel across 28 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969, and held a significant place in the franchise, not just as an actor but also as the wife of its creator, Gene Roddenberry. Her career was intertwined with Roddenberry's creative vision, but their personal life was marked by complications. Gene's infidelities created rifts in their marriage, and Margaret's dedication to his legacy consumed much of her later years, leaving her isolated after his death in 1991. Though admired for her loyalty to Star Trek, her career outside of it struggled to gain traction, leading to a sense of being overshadowed by her husband's fame. Barrett passed away in 2008 from leukemia, having spent her final years safeguarding Roddenberry's work while wrestling with her own feelings of being eclipsed in Hollywood. Leonard Nimoy, born 1931, immortalized the logical and stoic Vulcan Mr. Spock over 80 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969, but his life outside the screen was far from serene. The son of Ukrainian immigrants, Nimoy faced tensions with his family due to his early career choice, which they viewed as unstable. His first marriage to Sandra Zober ended after 32 years, largely due to his career demands and struggles with alcoholism, which he openly admitted in his later years. The pressures of embodying Spock, both a cultural icon and a symbol of restraint, took an emotional toll, leading to moments of self-doubt and identity struggles. Despite reconciling with his children later in life, he admitted that his career had created significant distance between them. Nimoy's battle with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, caused by years of smoking, led to his death in 2015, a somber reminder of the personal costs behind his iconic public persona. John Winston, born 1927, played Lieutenant Kyle in 11 episodes of Star Trek, 1967 to 1969, a recurring character who manned the transporter room with steady professionalism. While his role was minor compared to others in the series, Winston brought warmth and dedication to his portrayal. Outside the world of Star Trek, his acting career was sporadic, with only a handful of appearances in other productions. This lack of consistent work left Winston feeling overlooked in Hollywood, leading to financial difficulties and a quiet withdrawal from the industry. Personal details about his family life remain scarce, but colleagues described him as a private man who struggled with feelings of insignificance in the shadow of more prominent cast members. Winston passed away in 2019, reportedly from complications related to his advancing age, though his contributions to the Star Trek universe remain a cherished part of its lore. DeForest Kelly, born 1920, became beloved as Dr. Leonard "Bones" McCoy, appearing in 76 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969. Behind his gentle Southern charm and witty one-liners lay a deeply conflicted individual. Despite his success on the show, Kelly often lamented that his association with McCoy typecast him, limiting his opportunities for more dramatic roles. Kelly and his wife, Carolyn, had a long but childless marriage, which left him with feelings of regret later in life as he reflected on the family he never had. His transition into retirement was marked by isolation, as he and Carolyn lived quietly, rarely engaging with the outside world. After her death in 1998, Kelly was left devastated and withdrawn. His own battle with stomach cancer ended his life in 1999. Though he spent his final years struggling with pain and loneliness, Kelly remained proud of the enduring legacy of Star Trek, even as he quietly mourned the personal sacrifices that accompanied it. Grace Lee Whitney, born 1930, portrayed Yeoman Janice Rand in 8 episodes of Star Trek, 1966. Though her character was originally intended to have a significant role, Whitney's time on the show was abruptly cut short. Behind her bubbly on-screen presence, she faced profound personal struggles. Whitney was candid about the challenges she faced as a young woman in Hollywood, including an alleged assault by a powerful studio executive that led to her dismissal from Star Trek. The trauma plunged her into alcoholism, derailing her career and leaving her estranged from her two sons and their father during her darkest years. Though she eventually found sobriety and began rebuilding her life, her career never fully recovered. Whitney died in 2015 at the age of 85 in her home in California, having suffered from natural causes. Her later years were marked by her advocacy for addiction recovery, a cause that resonated deeply with her personal journey of pain and resilience. Nishelle Nichols, born 1932, brought elegance and strength to her role as Lieutenant Uhura, appearing in 67 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969. As one of the first black women to play a significant role on television, Nichols inspired countless fans, but her pioneering status came with struggles. Nichols considered leaving the series due to the limited scope of her character, but was persuaded by Martin Luther King Jr., who emphasized the importance of her presence on screen. Her personal life was fraught with turbulence. She endured multiple failed marriages and estrangements, including a bitter court battle over the guardianship of her finances in her later years. Her only son, Kyle, often found himself at odds with the pressures of being Nichols' child, leading to further family tension. Nichols spent her final years battling dementia, and she passed away in 2022 at the age of 89 due to heart failure. While her iconic role as Uhura cemented her legacy, her life behind the scenes was a mixture of triumph, heartbreak, and struggle for personal autonomy. Bart LaRue, born 1932, lent his voice as the announcer in 3 episodes of Star Trek, 1967 to 1969, offering a commanding presence that framed key moments of the show. However, LaRue's career largely stayed in the shadows, with most of his work being uncredited voiceovers and small roles. He struggled to break into Hollywood as a visible actor, leading to frustrations and financial insecurity. Behind the scenes, his personal life was no less troubled. LaRue endured multiple strained relationships and was known to drift in and out of his children's lives. Feeling overlooked both professionally and personally, he retreated from the industry in his later years. He passed away in 1990, reportedly from a heart attack, though details about his final years remain obscure. Like much of his career, a life defined by the tension between talent and recognition that was never fully realized. James Duan, born 1920, portrayed Montgomery Scott, the brilliant and loyal chief engineer of the Starship Enterprise, across 65 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969. Duan was a decorated World War II veteran, having survived the D-Day landings and sustaining injuries that left him with a permanently damaged hand, which he skillfully concealed on screen. While his portrayal of Scotty made him a fan favorite, it typecast him in Hollywood, restricting opportunities for more diverse roles. Off-screen, Duan struggled with tumultuous personal relationships, including 3 marriages and multiple periods of estrangement from some of his 7 children. His second marriage, in particular, ended in acrimony, exacerbated by his battles with alcoholism. In his later years, Duan was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and Alzheimer's, which further dimmed his once vibrant public presence. He passed away in 2005 at the age of 85 from pneumonia and complications related to his illnesses. Duan's legacy as Scotty remained beloved, but his personal life was marked by hardship and the challenges of balancing fame with family. Vic Perin, born 1916, lent his distinctive voice to the enigmatic Metron in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1967, creating an air of authority and mystery that elevated his brief appearances. A prolific voice actor, Perin's career thrived in radio, animation, and television, but his work behind the microphone often left him unseen and underappreciated. The anonymity of voice acting weighed heavily on him, leaving him with a sense of being overlooked despite his immense talent. Perin's personal life was also marred by difficulties, including a failed marriage and estrangement from close family members. He spent his later years quietly, battling declining health. He died in 1989 of cancer, a somber end to a life spent in the shadow of his own voice, respected, yet rarely celebrated for the depth of his contributions. Eddie Pasy, born 1939, portrayed Lieutenant Leslie, a recurring background character who appeared in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1968, and dozens more as an uncredited extra. Known for his quiet presence on the bridge of the Enterprise, Pasy embodied the everyman among the show's more prominent characters. However, his time on the series was cut short when chronic back pain, sustained during his earlier years, forced him to leave acting. Pasy's career decline led to financial strain, and he turned to other work to support his family, including managing an auto repair business. Though he cherished his time on Star Trek, the transition away from acting left him with unfulfilled aspirations. Pasy, married for decades, was remembered as a family man, but even his close relationships were tested by his struggles with health and work. He passed away in 2021 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of quiet dedication to a franchise that brought him both joy and challenges. Barbara Baldwin, born 1938, appeared as Angela Martine in 3 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1969, most memorably in Balance of Terror, where her character suffers the tragic loss of her fiancé. Baldwin's career in television remained modest, often overshadowed by her husband, Joseph DaGosta, who worked as a casting director on Star Trek. Her attempts to break through in Hollywood were hindered by the limited roles available for women, leaving her frustrated and unfulfilled creatively. While her marriage appeared stable outwardly, the pressures of working in the same industry created occasional friction. Baldwin later left acting to focus on her family life but remained quietly nostalgic for the career she felt she never fully realized. As of her passing in 2020, her death was attributed to complications from a long illness. Though her contributions to Star Trek were brief, they remain poignant for fans who recall Angela's tender humanity. Malachi Throne, born 1928, portrayed Commodore Jose Mendez in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1966, lending gravitas to his role as an officer of Starfleet. Known for his deep, resonant voice and commanding screen presence, Throne was a familiar face on television throughout the 1960s and 1970s. However, his career was marked by struggles to find consistent leading roles, leaving him to frequently play supporting characters. His personal life was equally tumultuous, with 2 marriages that ended in divorce and strained relationships with his children, who often felt neglected by his devotion to his work. Throne's later years were marked by declining health and financial challenges, though he continued to perform in theater when possible. He passed away in 2013 from lung cancer. While his legacy includes iconic roles across several franchises, Throne's life was a testament to the sacrifices and uncertainties of a career in acting. Morgan Woodward, born 1925, played the intense and morally conflicted Captain Ronald Tracy in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1966 to 1968, including the memorable episode, The Omega Glory. Known for his piercing gaze and rugged demeanor, Woodward often portrayed villains and authority figures throughout his prolific career. However, behind his commanding presence on screen was a man who wrestled with insecurities about being typecast. Despite his lengthy career in film and television, Woodward struggled to find roles that showcased his full range, leaving him with a sense of creative frustration. His personal life, while private, was reportedly tumultuous, including failed relationships and a lifelong bachelorhood that left him isolated in his later years. Woodward passed away in 2019 at the age of 93 due to natural causes, but his dedication to his craft and his memorable Star Trek appearances left a lasting impact on fans of the series. Ian Wolfe, born 1896, portrayed Mr. Ataz, the enigmatic librarian, in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1968 to 1969, bringing a peculiar charm and wisdom to his character. Wolfe's career spanned decades, with over 300 film and television credits, yet he remained firmly entrenched in supporting roles, never quite achieving widespread recognition. This undercurrent of being overlooked extended to his personal life, where Wolfe's quiet and reserved demeanor often left him disconnected from his family, including his wife and 2 daughters. Though he cherished his work as an actor, the grind of Hollywood left him weary in his later years. Wolfe lived to the remarkable age of 95, passing away in 1992 due to natural causes. His contributions to Star Trek remain a testament to his ability to imbue even small roles with depth and authenticity, though his life was marked by the unfulfilled potential of a career just outside the spotlight. Byron Morrow, born 1911, portrayed Admiral Comac in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1967–1968, embodying the no-nonsense authority of a high-ranking Starfleet officer. Morrow was a skilled character actor whose stoic demeanor made him a frequent choice for roles as military and government officials. Despite his professional success, Morrow's career was largely confined to guest appearances, leaving him without a defining role to cement his legacy. Off-screen, his life was far from ideal. Known for his aloofness, he had strained relationships with his family, including a marriage that ended in quiet disillusionment. Morrow spent his later years in relative obscurity, his once busy acting career fading into the past. He passed away in 2006 at the age of 94 due to natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of professionalism but also a lingering sense of being underappreciated by Hollywood and even his own loved ones. Richard Durk, born 1917, took on the role of Admiral Fitzgerald in 2 episodes of Star Trek, 1967–1969, portraying a calm and composed Starfleet leader. Durk's acting career peaked in the 1950s with the science fiction classic When Worlds Collide, but by the time of Star Trek, he was working primarily in guest roles on television. His inability to recapture earlier stardom haunted him, leading to bouts of depression and self-doubt. A lifelong bachelor, Durk was said to have few close personal connections, and his reclusive nature grew more pronounced as his career declined. Financial difficulties and declining health characterized his later years, as he struggled to maintain a semblance of his once glamorous Hollywood life. He passed away in 1992 at the age of 74 from pancreatic cancer. Though his Star Trek appearances were brief, they remain part of a career marked by fleeting success and lingering struggles. James Gregory, born 1911, portrayed Dr. Tristan Adams in the Star Trek episode Dagger of the Mind, 1966, where he delivered a chilling performance as the sadistic director of a futuristic penal colony. Gregory, known for his authoritative and intimidating screen presence, often played hard-nosed military men and villains throughout his long career. Despite his success, Gregory's personal life was far from harmonious. Married but childless, he frequently channeled his energy into work, leaving little room for personal connections. His intensity on screen mirrored a private life of emotional distance, and friends described him as a man burdened by insecurities, despite his commanding presence. Gregory retired quietly and passed away in 2002 from natural causes at the age of 90. Though his roles left a lasting impression, his life behind the scenes remained a largely solitary existence, haunted by the limits of his stardom. Bob Heron, born 1924, played the iconic Klingon Kallus in the Star Trek episode The Savage Curtain, 1969, where his portrayal of the mythical figure marked a significant moment in the series' exploration of Klingon culture. Heron was primarily a stuntman, and his daring work across numerous films and TV shows often went uncredited. His career, though adventurous, took a toll on his body, leading to chronic injuries that plagued him in his later years. Off-screen, Heron's life was marked by a series of failed relationships, with his demanding career frequently taking precedence over family life. He had children, but his bond with them was strained by years of absence and an emotionally distant demeanor. Heron lived into his 90s but passed away in 2021 due to natural causes. His contributions to film and television, while largely unsung, were vital to the action and excitement of many productions, though his personal life reflected the sacrifices often made in pursuit of Hollywood dreams. How do you feel about the passing of the legendary actors from Star Trek and the legacies they left behind? Who do you miss the most, and which of their performances resonated with you the most? Share your thoughts and memories in the comments below, we'd love to hear your stories. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos celebrating the stars and stories you love.